What's up, everybody? So it's the next day. Yesterday we installed the fog lights on the F350, and finally the weather cleared up a little bit, and we decided to bring this thing out. So yeah, let me flip the camera around and let me show you guys what we got, and I'll give you guys a little review, some stuff I have done to it. So as you guys just saw, we were at the car wash washing her up, and here she is. Another one of our toys. The weather is finally clearing up here in Colorado. Still a little bit of snow on the ground, but it's okay. It's nice out here. So yeah, I decided to bring this thing out, wash it up. We haven't taken it out in a while, and last time we put it away all dirty. So here she is. She's a 2021 CanAm XRS Turbo RR. So it is like the super sporty one in black on black. When I got it, she was completely stock. I'll try to find a picture, put it up on the screen right here of how I got it, and here she is now, of how she sits as of right now. So I guess let's start in the front. So we do have the 5150 halos on the front, light up purple. I mean, they're RGB, but I have everything purple. I'll show you guys here in a bit. So yeah, up front, that's all we have so far. And then we do have the mirrors, LEDs, and then the pod lights. These I got them off Amazon. So I wanted both sides to be exactly the same. So the brackets and the lights, I got these off Amazon, and these as well. And then the newest addition so far has been that LED bar up top. That's from Xbeam LEDs. I like it because it switches from white to amber to flashing to like strobe. And yeah. So look, let me actually turn on the little power and show you guys. Everything is hooked up to this Xbeam switch panel in the middle. So all the buttons makes it super easy. That way you don't have switches going on everywhere. So yeah, inside it's a Rockford Fosgate Stage 6. So it does have 2 speakers up front, 1, 2, and then 2 in the back. Run 2 of the big ones, of the big tower speakers, I believe they're called. And then subs on the bottom of the seats. And then I think everything should be on right there. I don't know how well you guys can tell on the daylight. Oh, there it is. So yeah, like I said, I have everything purple, whips purple as well. And like I said, everything looks super good at night. And then let me show you guys some of the functions on the LED bar. So I have it wired right here. This switch right here is for the pod lights, just so they turn on. I usually keep them off. And then this switch, I don't know if you guys can see that very well. So on and off is just simply to turn it on and off. And then it flashes from strobe. It goes from strobe to flash white and strobe to flash white, and then flash strobe, and then flash white and strobe. So yeah, but I usually just keep it on white. Unless we're riding at night or something like that, then I put it to like flashing or something like that. But other than that, yeah, I usually just keep it on white. Rip out the key just so this thing doesn't die. Like I said earlier, it is a Turbo RR, so it does have the Sport Plus, Comfort. Oh, and this one is Smart Shock. That's another thing I forgot to add. This one is Smart Shock, so the shocks adjust on the fly with this button, with these 2 buttons right here. Trail Active. So Trail Active is like more responsive for the shocks, and then this stiffens and makes the ride like harder or softer depending on the terrain you're riding on. So yeah, back here we have the spare tire, and then we have the CanAm pivot rack. By pivot, here, let me move this. Sorry, we're checking the tire pressure. Let me see if I can get this with one hand. So this right here, you flip these right here, these little right there. Cool. And then something we did have to do different was cut the rack on top, just because if I didn't, those speakers, I would have to move them back here pretty much to clip on right here. And yeah, no, I just didn't want that look, because like if we were to roll over, something falls on the back, like those speakers are gone. Which in this case, if I keep them up here, they're more protected by the cage. So yeah, just so I don't have to replace the speakers if anything was to happen. But yeah, exhaust, engine wise, tune, all that is stock. I haven't had a chance to mess with that. I wanted to get the practicability of it, I guess, all together first. And then, yeah, since I kept the speakers where they are right now, usually these shocks go like somewhere right there. But obviously, like I said, since the speakers are right there, I can't do that. But it kind of works out because I usually like to do this with the pivot rack. So I lift it, and then I hang it right there with the shocks. So that lifts it up quite a bit. So let's say you have a grill or something like that, or wherever you're at, you guys are trying to grill, put some food on the back, have a cooler, anything that frees up literally all the space here. So yeah, I really like that feature. I said it's not supposed to do that, but like I said, messing around with it, we're able to make that happen. So yeah, let me show you guys what we picked up. Oh, and then the lower doors as well. You can buy like the full aluminum doors. I just haven't had a chance to get around to it. But yeah, this one has the lower doors as well. And I believe that's everything as far as mod wise. It came with the roof. I know some of them don't come with the roof. Usually there's bolts that go right here, but with so much like jumping and all that, and when you're freaking booking it through the sand dunes, these little bolts decided to fly off. So I decided just to zip tie it, and honestly it works 10 times better. This roof is not going anywhere. So yeah, wiring all tucked up. I like to run it through here, and then let me open up the door right here, and then run it through down here under the seat. And then I have the switch panel power source in the back of the seat by the battery. And like I said, there's that aux beam switch panel back there, down there. So this is our newest addition right here. So it is a chase light for the back because it's missing some lights on the back. And I think I'm just gonna mount it on the pivot rack right there with enough slack so that I can raise and lower it. But yeah. So let me actually bring this back down so I can show you guys where I want to mount it. So I was looking to mount it somewhere like right here, like just drill in right here and right here. That way the light can just hang right here. So when we bring this down all the way, the light's pointing back and we can just get that going. But yeah, and then these are RGB as well. All the speakers are RGB, so they change color. And of course, I have them purple. I have no clue why purple was my color of choice, but it just was. So let me get everything pulled out of the box, and then I'll lay it out here, and then we'll get going. We'll go from there. Alrighty, guys. So here we are. I have everything laid out. This bunch of wires right here is for. So here are the instructions. For the turn signals and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm not running turn signals, so I don't think I'm gonna hook up these wires right here. I'll probably just disconnect it right here and then put like some electrical tape or something like there, just so that doesn't get messed up. And then this is the wiring coming from the light. So this right here, you could either hook it up to this switch, right here. So I'm guessing power on and off, and then switch to the different modes that it has. You kind of just, you know, kind of just kick it forward. Or, which I think this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to switch it up to this one. Just because I don't want to hook up anything else to that switch panel, because I already have a lot of things there. And I have to remove this seat and do a bunch of wiring, and I don't want to do that. So I have this empty space right here. So I think I'm just going to run the switch right here. And then yeah, so just run the switch right there and then just power it on with the switch. It should be pretty easy. What I'm thinking about mounting it would be something like this right here. So I obviously have to drill into the rack, but just so you can get an idea. And then this right here, just run it through there with the whips. There's Oscar. Run it through here where they ran the wiring, just through here, down, and in through there, and just make it super easy. So yeah, let me get all the tools, and then we'll probably set up like a little time lapse or something, and I gotta figure out how the hell I am going to drill this rack. I mean, I already cut it, so I mean, I'm pretty sure drilling won't be too hard. But yeah, let me do some measuring here, and then we'll go from there. So we drilled out 2 holes, and then thankfully they don't go all the way up to like this plastic, it just goes through the metal. So I'm gonna keep messing with drill bits here to try to get it to this size, so that then I can mount it up just right there. I can put those through and just get them mounted up. But so yeah, like I said, the wind's not helping, so I can't really set you guys up, but let me just drill out 2 holes to make the holes a little bit bigger, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty guys, so here we are. It took way longer than needed to, but we finally got it on. So I ended up drilling right here, taking off the spare tire and this top little like rack thing, just so I can get that bolt to fall through there, put the nut on it. Same thing on this side. Like I said, just took it off from top, just took off this, threw the nut on it, and there you go. As far as wires go, so I don't know if you guys can tell too well, but here they come through here, right through here. And then I left this slack right here because obviously since it's a pivot rack, it lifts up, so that way we don't like ruin anything. This is for the whips. It comes through here, comes through down here, and then we fed it through here, down through here, and right now we have it connected to the aux beam switch panel. So it's actually this button right here, and yeah, so this is the control, obviously off, on. I'm always going to leave it on just so I can control it from the switch panel, and this is for the different modes that it cycles through. So let me go ahead and clean up that wiring, just so right here it looks good. I hate having a mess of wires, even though down there it's a whole rat's nest of all the other lighting I got going on. But once I throw on the seat, you can't even tell, it's all hidden. But yeah, that's how it looks all mounted up. Like I said, there it is. So we still have, so on top of that, we still have space for the cooler that goes right here. So yeah, hopefully we can get that tossed on. So there's Mr. J from next door. So yeah, let me just get this tossed on, and then I'll pick up the camera again and show you guys. Before I toss on the seat, I'll show you what all the lights look hooked up, and yeah, all that. So I think we got everything hooked up. We're sitting driver's seat right now in the CanAm. So that's pretty much how everything's gonna stay right now. I'm trying to keep it away from the seat, but in a sec I'll run over there and I'll show you guys what we did. So let's go ahead and power it on. There's everything, and then let's go ahead and switch all those on. So let's start up front. You guys have already seen these, but there they are, which is light bar, lights on the side, and then the pod lights, headlights, and then let's go to the back so you guys can see how everything looks. Boom, there she is. I was gonna do it without the yellow, but I've heard that you can get in trouble with just having red and blue, so I decided to hook up that yellow light. And then yeah, so there are the whips. I'm probably gonna have to change up the color scheme a bit, just because obviously the red and blue and orange don't really go with the purple flow, but I mean, I think it'll do for now. So yeah, let me just unwind this. So there's that. And then for those wondering where I got the flags, Alpha, obviously Alpha 1 Racing, they're the ones that hooked it up with these flags, but they're kind of getting torn apart. But yeah, that thing is super bright, but I like how it looks. And then like I showed you guys a little bit ago, wires run through here. Oh shit, I'm dying over here. Wires run through here, down there, and you pop open the door. And yeah, and then I ran them right through here just because I don't want any exposed wires being right here. Ran them through here. And then these are turn signals. These are the wires for the turn signals and brake lights for the what is that thing called? The freaking strobe light in the back. The, oh my god, I really cannot remember what the thing's called. Chase light. The chase light in the back. That's what that thing's for. And then the white wire, this is for the yellow one in the middle. And I ran it to the aux beam switch panel. and everything is hooked up right there. And then the cool part about this is if you hit that button right there, everything turns off altogether. Everything turns off. Obviously these lights are from the CanAm itself, so obviously those aren't hooked up to the aux beam, but everything turns off. And yeah, so let me get the seat tossed in and I'll pick it up back then. La verga. Ya bájate, Chavis, porque no te caes. La verga. Alright guys, so there you guys have it. We have it here inside the shop just because it got dark out. But yeah, there she is. I know earlier I said I was gonna hook it up to a switch. Hook up the rear trace light. Here, actually, let me show you guys what it looks like. And this is from Xprite. I forgot to mention earlier, I picked this up off of Amazon. I think it was like $100. So yeah, it's super bright, as you guys can tell. It's super bright. Yeah, so I was gonna hook it up to a switch and all that, but it was honestly just easier to rip the seat out and then just go ahead and wire it to the aux beam switch panel so I can control everything down there. So yeah, it came out pretty cool. Pretty simple install, pretty straightforward if you're good with wiring. I've done everything else to this thing. I've learned, you know, a little bit as I go. So wiring that up wasn't too bad. And then earlier in the video you guys saw it was all purple. Figured it, threw it off since the back it flashes red and blue. So yeah, so we made everything red. Got the spare tire back on. Speakers, we changed them to red. So I'll probably put a video of what it sounds like at the end. I'll put a clip of what everything looks like on at the end of this video. But yeah, there you guys have it. I can't wait to take this thing out, go riding. I said I probably will pick up some new flags because these have seen better days. They're all ripped up, but yeah. Here, I wish I would have done an install on the pivot rack, but I wasn't doing the YouTube thing yet, so I didn't show you guys how to cut this, but it's honestly pretty straightforward. You just kind of measure it there, cut it, and call it a day. But yeah, so now we're just missing the cooler. Put the cooler on the back, and yeah, the rear end will be complete. And then we're also gonna need some new tires. We're at a tire shop, and the CanAm doesn't have tires, so that's ironic. But yeah, here it is. So yeah, I don't think I want to do anything else to the front. Probably just a bumper. Because I did get crashed into in Kansas. I've said it in another video. In Kansas, and it cracked the front windshield. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. Right there, it cracked it. It threw the fan off, everything, all the plastics. So this whole front end has been redone. So yeah, I probably want to get a bumper just to cover this up. That way, if it were to happen again, hopefully not. If it were to happen again, this is at least more protected. But yeah, there she is so far. I want to get some rock lights. I think rock lights are next. I want to get some rock lights, have this whole thing light up from the bottom, and then get a dome light because in here it gets pretty dark at night. But yeah, I have everything wired up right here. This little switch right here is for these. So yeah, I think I'm probably gonna close out the video here. It wasn't too much of a long one, but yeah, I just wanted to introduce you guys to the CanAm, and this is it. So yeah, definitely some future plans for this thing. Like I said, we gotta do some tires, which isn't too exciting. Maybe we'll throw on some wheels then. And then, like I said, rock lights, and yeah, probably like a little dome light or something, just so it can go in here, light up pretty good. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Yeah, we'll see what happens next week. We're still doing the F350 build, but I figured I'd change it up for a bit just because, you know, we're getting, I get tired of watching the same thing over and over too. But so yeah, so I'll catch you guys on next week.
Como a esta cara no creo que les puedan hacer nada. Porque no hay forma de que...
¿Quién sabe lo que en el moral carga? Tienen desde abajo pero no batallan. No me digan nada, solo tiran labia. Quieren mis zapatos pero no les quedan. Ahora el talento lo quieren por feria. Feria tengo para comprarme lo que quiera. Y si me andan cuidando es porque ando en la quema. Nadie me regaló nada de lo que tengo. Los que andan conmigo, los que andan con cuentos, lleno de diamantes también caros feos, y se andan fatales porque ando en el ruedo.